Which swoosh could
It's
you
like
refer to?
unicorn name. That's what it makes me think of. Yeah. So you're gonna cut your own bangs? But you do cut your own bangs sometimes.
I mean, I do it very like a chicken shit.
Like
yeah. Yeah. Because I'm very scared of effing it up. God, what's happening? I can't. It's going bye-bye.
I mean, yeah. You could just grow them out for now. No, okay.
Oh, no. Who knows how long this will be. Gotta learn to cut your own bangs to be a real survival.
I mean, yeah, there's some good stuff out there. I'm sure you can figure it out. If you get really good at it, you can cut mine.
I feel like I'd be better at cutting your bangs than my own.
Yeah, because you don't have to live with the consequences.
No, yes, I do. I literally.
Oh, you have to look. You have to look at it more.
I almost fell asleep in the first posture.
That's good.
Restorative is where it's at. You only have to plan like 4 poses.
I know. Whenever I do restorative, I'm never sure whether I actually did anything or whether I just took a nap with a bunch of other people.
Good. I feel like it's good.
Okay.
Because they say a lot about what it does for your body to deliberately relax and not fall asleep.
What do they say?
They say a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're like, it's good, do that.
No, that there's something different about conscious rest. Like sleep is wonderful and this is not supposed to be that, but apparently it's beneficial to your nervous system and whatnot too. And she was like, we'll do it on our beds with pillows because, I mean, I guess a lot of people don't have stuff, right? So at first I was like, so she said, this pose I do at least once a day these days. And I was like, imagine doing restorative poses at least once a day. I just had this thought in my head of like, I wonder if I could ever be that kind of person. And then I realized that the way she set us up is actually very close to the way I've been sleeping recently. I've been doing this kind of weird thing. So I like sleeps mostly on my stomach with like a leg up like this and the other one straight.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm explaining it very well.
Yeah.
But like kind of on my stomach like that and then just like one leg up. The other
that
leg
is
straight.
Almost a yoga pose. That's like a twist. Almost.
Yeah, but I'm not twisted. Like this isn't the
except
bed.
The torso
this is the bed.
Yeah, okay.
And what we did just now, one of the pretty nice ones, was to have a pillow like from your pelvis out to your knee. So it's like you're in that same thing. Your back leg is like elevated a little bit on another pillow, face down. And this is like, it's like a hip basically. Gentle. And I've been sleeping like that. I like to make geometric and symmetrical pattern shapes for my pillows.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So my original thing was more of like a nest. It's a nest shape.
Oh.
And right now it's like 2 columns and 2 things like that. So that when I'm lying like this, my leg can be elevated on. I don't know how to explain this.
No, I think
it's like this. But there's a pillow here that my leg is on.
Yeah. Why do I never do that?
I mean, if that's not your way of sleeping, then...
I just don't utilize my pillows. Well, I do a little bit. I have this one pillow that's practically a bolster. I like it for that, for like all kinds of reasons. But I don't ever... I know like putting pillows between your legs is supposed to be good.
I move around too much for that.
And then actually at a certain point, I wanted to buy my dad this pillow that you get. It's marketed towards pregnant ladies.
Yeah, the long.
Yeah. The like cocoon.
Yeah, it's great.
I wanted to have that.
It's one of my sister's favorite things.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, that sounds nice. The restful thing is interesting because I'm like, so what counts as rest? Like, if you're just sitting and doing nothing, is that rest?
No.
It's not.
Because you're not consciously. When you say just sitting, I'm thinking that you're sitting like how we are just sitting right now.
But if I were sitting like this and like,
what's her?
I don't know.
It kind of depends on what her is.
Like, okay, rest now.
What's happening here?
I don't know. Well, that's what I'm asking. Like, what are we talking? Meditation? What are we talking?
Basically.
Okay. But is meditation restful or isn't meditation actually very strenuous? Depending on what kind you're doing.
Depending on what kind.
Well, like, if it takes attention, you're not resting.
No. Have you never relaxed ever? Because you're acting like you don't know what it means.
Like, what is this? Maybe.
Like you're just like breathing, and maybe you try to slow down your breath, and maybe you try to like soften different parts of your body. You're like,
I don't think I do this.
Probably not. Most people don't like just do it.
Yeah, like Evan used to sometimes. I say the word tackle, but it wasn't tackle so much. But he used to like grab me and wrap me up and then like throw me on the bed just so we could like lie on the bed together.
Mm-hmm.
Like not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, what are we doing? And
What?
like, what? We're just like hanging out on the bed, like resting. And I'd be like, I don't know what to do right now. What is this?
That sounds really normal.
Yeah.
That sounds really normal.
Cause yeah, he would just like, hey, yeah, he was good at resting. And I'm pretty sure he's part animal.
Just depending on what he's doing in his head. Because if you're like, that's not rest.
No, I don't think he does that.
Should ask him, what is this?
What is this? What is this rest? Yeah.
Maybe you should take a restorative class.
Sounds nice, actually.
Nina's like, she always, not always, but she's always talking about how it's the hardest yoga class there is.
Yeah.
She's like, that's what I always say. Restorative is the PhD of yoga.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
When
why,
you're saying...
Why is it the hardest? If
because
it's
of
the
that,
hardest, that means that it takes effort, which means it's not restful.
That's only if, like, effort is always stressful. Do you ever say things and then you're like, do I? Don't I? Did I? What is? Just because something's hard doesn't mean it's strenuous.
Yes. Wait, we're not talking objectively though. This makes it sound like you could get to the place where, like, doing cartwheels could be relaxing.
What makes it sound like that?
Like, it's hard, but it's not strenuous. Like, if you can just hang out there in the cartwheel.
Is this your weird segue into handstands?
No,
Hanging
but it
out in
could
cloud
be.
wheels?
That effort can be restful.
No. That not everything that's difficult is strenuous.
Not everything that's difficult
requires effort. Difficult is a very complex word.
It is, actually. Because then it makes me think of objectively. Like, some things are difficult for certain people and not for others. In which case, yes.
That's objective?
Huh?
What do you mean objectively?
Like, some things are difficult for some people and not for others. So, for instance...
That's the definition of subjective.
Subjective. For some people, saying the proper words is difficult, and for some people, it's not.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, for instance, like, sitting like this, for some people, is difficult.
Physically?
Yes.
Okay.
And then, like, for me, it's not.
Yeah.
So, this could be restful for me, and for other people, it could be difficult.
Right.
And not conducive to rest.
Right.
Yes. Is that what you mean?
I can't remember. I can't remember what I meant. It's like the difference between like a really complicated math problem or a marathon and relaxing. Like neither is more difficult. One requires a lot more calories. That doesn't mean it's harder.
Yeah.
Because letting go can be really hard, but that doesn't mean you apply more effort and then you can do it.
Okay.
I'm not saying it very clearly. But some things are difficult, and difficult doesn't mean more effort, more calories.
There's something to that. That, like, surrender can be difficult.
Yes.
In the same way that falling asleep can be difficult.
Yeah. See, we're all...
There you go. We
it's all
found
been
it.
smoothed out.
Found it.
We've restored ourselves. I feel restored.
I think I should just sign up for all the things. Do all the live videos, all the programs, all the meditations. There's so much right now. I don't know.
Why don't you send it to me? Because right now I'm only seeing...
Ugh. I'll send you one thing. I don't know if you heard me doing kirtan in my room earlier.
I don't think so.
Okay. Apparently there's this one place they do kirtan every day if you want to like.
Every day?
Every day, 5 p.m.
Oh, wow. What was I doing at 5 p.m.?
Bhakti Yoga Shala.
Finishing my workout and showering.
So wait, did you do yoga this morning?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh, that's hard. Right. I did a workout. No yoga.
Where did you work out? Or did you just do it?
In the front room.
Did you just do it from memories?
No, I didn't do it from my memories.
From your memories. You're just reminiscing in there.
No, there's like 3 people who are doing consistent live workouts.
Mm-hmm.
One of them on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I did hers today. She was live at 7 p.m. Eastern, which was over here. And it like, for whatever reason, makes a huge difference that I do it live.
Yeah.
Because obviously that workout is now available for, I don't know, 24 hours or whatever.
Yeah, like a story.
Yeah. No, that doesn't work. It's gotta be live.
Wait.
It doesn't work for me. I just turn it off.
So you didn't catch it?
I did catch it.
At 7 a.m.?
No, her 7 p.m.
Oh, 7 p.m. Okay.
Really right.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it was okay. Could have been harder.
Of course. Disappointing.
I've lost one of my 10-pound weights. Don't know where it is.
It's a hard thing to lose.
That's what I thought.
A 10-pound weight?
It's like this big.
It's got to be here somewhere.
I mean, it's definitely here somewhere. I just don't know where.
It wasn't outside?
No, one of them was outside, and then I think I brought one of them inside to try one dumbbell workout, but it wasn't live, so I gave up. There's a couple of people doing workouts that I'm like, you realize nobody can do what you're doing, right?
Really?
Yes. Like a lot. Like this woman was doing part of her 10-pound weight, the 10-pound weight thing, was doing like a pistol squat down and then coming back up with the weight. And then, having the weight, going down into a pistol squat, dropping the weight off, standing up in a pistol squat, then doing like a 180-degree like jump squat, and then going down on the other leg of the pistol, bringing the fucking thing up. It's 10 pounds. I was like, are you... almost no one who's watching you can do a pistol squat. It's like really hard.
Right.
And I was like, so you're not only doing full pistol squats, which no one can do,
right,
but it's with 10 pounds. And then there's a jump squat in which you switch directions in the middle.
Oh, yeah. Something to strive for.
And then this other lady today was doing, she's another one. It's great. And I find it fascinating to watch, but I'm like, I don't know how practical this is for a lot of people. Considering that it's just on Instagram, I don't know.
Like sometimes with those on-demand videos or whatever, well, this is live, but like a workout video, I almost expect there to be something that I cannot do because it seems stupid to do a class where I can do everything.
There's almost never something I can't do.
Because, okay, wait. Well, yes, but you're you. But then the reason is like, because then I come back, oh my God, this is a disease that I have. Anyway, then I come back to it, and hopefully if I've improved, then suddenly I can do the thing. Or I'm better at doing the thing. But this also just makes me think that I am like addicted to, this is more of the like me trying to get it. And so like I want something built in that I can't get. This is a disease. I'm getting over it.
That's good.
Yeah, you can almost always do everything.
Just like by and large.
Yeah.
But there are so few things like, obviously I can't lift the same weights everybody else can lift, but there's no like class online that's like that. You know, all these classes, like you pick your weights. So it's not like I can always do everything that anyone else is doing because some people have picked heavier weights than I have.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I just mean the like generic, basic, supposedly accessible to whoever.
Yeah.
The only thing is that if I'm struggling, I go a bit slower. I maybe take a break, but it's not like I can't do it.
Right. You do. So like you do all the exercises, you do all the reps.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them are not like numbered.
You don't like just stop in the middle of it.
No. And I'm not like, I can't do a single one of what you're talking about. Like some people cannot do a push-up. That doesn't happen. It happens with like a million pistols. Because who the fuck can do that?
No, I want you to show me.
Do it right now. No, it's hard.
How many can you do?
Like the same number as I can do fucking pull-ups. Like 3 to 5. And with both of them, I'm like, at the bottom of the rep, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like sometimes you can tell whether or not you're going to be able to do something. And with pull-ups and with pistols, you're like, I have no idea what's going to happen when I exert myself. I might go nowhere. And I might get to the top.
Do you think that's the best place to in terms of difficulty? and pushing yourself, do you think the best place to always be working within is when you're almost not sure whether you can do it?
I think there has to be some of that.
Yeah. Like if it's a bit too easy, like you could be like sweating and all of that, but if you're like, yeah, whatever, I got this.
It depends on it depends on what you're doing. And it depends on why.
Yeah.
Because if you're like actively trying to get stronger, then you, yes, do have to up the ante consistently, otherwise you're not going to get stronger.
Right. You'll just maintain.
Right.
I'm very good at maintaining. I haven't decided my fitness goals. I am working out more now, definitely, than I was before.
I think a lot of people are.
Yeah. And I also think for maybe the first time in my life, I'm interested in getting strong.
In the last 2 weeks. 3 weeks.
Sort of. Lily talked about that, and I was like, oh no, I don't know. I just thought I wanted to be wayfish and thin. I don't know if it's all the like yoga people on my Instagram or what it is. I might be able to do that.
It's like, I think we've talked about this, but it's been the like preferred ability and body set for like years now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like the height of the wave has passed.
When would you say the height was?
Kate Moss.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that was early. That was like early height. But
yeah,
yeah,
I would say 90s. No?
I mean, we're like 20 years from that now. So. I'm trying to think of like big cultural moments that might have been signifiers.
I also don't know if it's a teenager thing.
I don't know.
Like girl athletes weren't the cool ones in my school.
Oh, they were.
Really? Cool. No, it was lame if you were into PE.
Well, who was cool?
They were the ones who wore root sweatpants. They were down with thongs.
Okay. But I mean, like...
They didn't really do any extracurriculars.
They didn't do anything. They just had an outfit?
Kind of. They were like decently wealthy. A lot of attitude.
No physical activity.
Good hair. Not so much. Yeah. I think it depends on the school. Anyway, I was just saying maybe that's why, like, the wayfishness, it was like, yeah, don't try so hard.
Which is funny because if you're wayfish, you have to try way harder than someone. Physically, you literally have to try way harder than someone who's strong.
Well, that's true. Just get used to never lifting things. It is making me eat a lot more, though. How do we balance this?
You have to eat.
You eat more. That's how we balance it. That's literally the definition of balance, is when something goes like this, we balance it.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. I think this is why I eat so much horse shit.
What? No, not that much.
I mean, it's all relative.
Almond butter.
No, I wasn't talking about almond butter.
Almond butter. If anyone is going to Trader Joe's, you need some almond butter, okay?
And almonds.
And almonds. There's an almond shortage here.
Major.
Did you get an almond tree? Do you think?
Yeah, but I don't know if Sounds like something I must have looked into. How could I not know? I think it might have to be a little cooler.
Really?
I think it might grow in Northern California better than here. I think.
Let's say it does.
Well, only because like I can't imagine why I wouldn't have gotten a tree.
I thought it was more like inland too. I was just thinking you had the bees for it.
Yeah, no,
Have your own little ecosystem.
I think they're not in our grow zone exactly.
It was like a handful.
Probably be like a bowl.
Okay.
Over like a season.
Okay.
I think. We're gonna read this?
Yeah, we are.
What's the book again?
Worm Piece. Hi.
Oh wow, my battery level is low for the first time since I got this damn thing.
Whoa. Great.
We're at chapter 11.
It's like, put that in your ad. We're at chapter 11. We're still in book 7. And
what happened?
Last night,
Bernie Sanders dropped out.
That's what happened. Yeah, I know. I can't think about that right now.
Last night. You can't think about it?
I can't think about the election right now.
Because you're too interested in War and Peace?
Yeah, that's it. I'm just too wrapped up in this set of affairs. These
why?
politics. Because I don't know what's going to happen.
You don't?
I'm very scared.
I feel better now than I ever have about the election. And it's a clusterfuck shit show.
Wait, are you being sincere?
What do you mean?
That you feel better about
That's
the
like my
election
whole
now?
diet right there. That person just said protein powder,
Almond
banana.
butter, banana, some oats. It's true.
That's literally like what I eat. This one's such a tank.
Let's not go there. Maybe another time. Can we please have mail in the vote?
Mail in the vote?
Yeah.
What's
mail in the vote?
What is this new slogan you just devised?
It's ridiculous that they're trying to protest that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The they is really just Trump, though.
Is it not the whole Republican Party?
I don't know. I mean, they're stupid enough to follow along too sweet, but right now he's, I don't know, whatever.
Okay. What happened?
A bunch of nothing, in my opinion, happened.
In her opinion, I was cozy by the fire.
Yeah. They were
it was sweet.
Multiple horse, semi-open sleigh.
Yeah. Over fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha ha ha.
They do?
Yeah.
That's one of Ishan's songs. He likes the worst songs.
Really? They're in costume. I don't know why.
Because there's nothing better to do.
And Sonya is in a mustache, and apparently she's never looked better.
Yeah, and Nicholas is really buying everyone's costume. He keeps being like, "That used to be my sister." And like, they're just in an outfit.
Yeah. It's very easily like, oh, what's happening now?
Yeah. He's very easily confused.
Yeah.
So they've just landed up at their neighbor's.
Are they at Uncle's? Where are they?
No,
they're at
somebody else's.
Yeah.
Because the mother or someone was like, you can't go to Uncle's because I can't remember why. Oh, you won't fit in the house.
Yes.
You can go to the Muscovites. I don't know. It's
something like that.
With an M.
Is it Melyukova?
Very likely is. The third word of chapter 11.
Yep.
Okay.
So anyway, they're there, and it's Christmas time, and
I'm annoyed.
She's annoyed.
It's because nothing's been happening.
I'm amazed how much does not happen in this book.
Ugh. Can't believe you're cool with it. Okay, chapter 11. Fine. Pelagaya Danilova Milyukova, a broadly built, energetic woman wearing spectacles, sat in the drawing room in a loose dress, surrounded by her daughters, whom she was trying to keep from feeling dull. They were quietly dropping melted wax into snow and looking at the shadows the wax figures would throw on the wall when they heard the steps and voices of new arrivals. Steps and voices of new arrivals in the vestibule.
Wait, is this a thing people do where they drop wax into snow? Cool. Sounds fun. Sounds like civil, like, what is it? With the maple syrup.
What is it?
When you you put maple syrup on snow and then you eat it.
I'm from India.
Right. Different culture.
The maple syrup thing.
Different culture.
What a Canadian reference.
So Canadian.
When you put the maple syrup.
It's like tea, like, because you're pulling it.
You're pulling what?
Maple syrup.
You are?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Hussars, ladies, witches, clowns, and bears. Bears?
One of them is a bear.
Oh, right. After clearing their throats and wiping the hoarfrost from their faces in the vestibule, came into the ballroom where candles were hurriedly lighted. The clown, Dimmler, and the lady, Nicolas, started a dance. Surrounded by the screaming children, the mummers, covering their faces and disguising their voices, bowed to their hostess and arranged themselves about the room.
Like, this would 100% end up in a mass murder. This would, like, any time recent. Imagine it's winter, there's snow and it's dark and all these people come in weird costumes and try to disguise their identity. Yeah. Where would that be going? I don't know. Dear me, there's no recognizing them. Oh. And Natasha, see whom she looks like. She really reminds me of somebody. But Herr Dimmler, isn't he good? I didn't know him. And how he dances. Dear me, there's a circadian. I'm saying it like it's circadian, but...
Yeah, I know. Do you know what a circadian is? No. Okay, I'm looking it up.
Really? How becoming it is. To dear Sonya. And who is that? Well, you have cheered us up, Nikita and Vanya. Clear away the tables. And we were sitting so quietly. Ha ha ha! The hussar, just like a boy. And the legs, I can't look at him, different voices were saying.
All of them. Wow, they're so impressed.
There's so many.
I mean, they didn't have. They're literally dropping wax into snow. They need some entertainment. A Circassian is relating to or denoting a group of mainly Sunni Muslim people of the north. Sunni? Okay. Muslim peoples of the northwestern Caucasus.
Caucasus? Caucasus.
Oh, that's how you spell it. Caucasus.
There's multiple new words for you in that sentence. Sunny? Sunai? What?
What's your called? Caucasus.
Caucasus. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Cool.
Where were we? Natasha, the young Melyukov's favorite, disappeared with them into the back rooms where a cork and various dressing gowns and male garments were called for and received from the footman by bare girlish arms from behind the door. 10 minutes later, all the young Melyukovs joined the mummers.
Pelagaya Danilovna, Having given orders to clear the rooms for the visitors and arranged about refreshments for the gentry and the serfs, went about among the mummers without removing her spectacles, peering into their faces with a suppressed smile and failing to recognize any of them. It was not merely Dimmler and the Rostovs she failed to recognize. She did not even recognize her own daughters. I think something else might be happening. Or her late husband's... What? Or her late husband's dressing gowns and uniforms which they had put on.
Oh, okay. And who's this? She asked her governess, peering into the face of her own daughter dressed up as Kazan Tartar. I suppose he's one of the Rostovs. Well, Mr. Hazar, and what regiment do you serve in? She asked Natasha. Here, hand some fruit jelly to the Turk, she ordered the butler who was handing things round. That's not forbidden by his law.
Sometimes, as she looked at the strange but amusing capers cut by the dancers, who, having decided once for all, that being disguised, no one would recognize them, were not at all shy. Pelagaya. I think it's Pelagaya. Pelagaya Danilovna hid her face in her handkerchief, and her whole stout body shook with irrepressible, kindly, elderly laughter.
My little Sasha, look at Sasha, she said.
After Russian country dances and chorus dances, Pelagaya Danilovna made the serfs and gentry join in one large circle. A ring, a string, and a silver ruble were fetched, and they all played games together.
In an hour, all the costumes were crumpled and disordered. The corked eyebrows and mustaches were smeared over the perspiring, flushed, and merry faces. Pelagaya Danilovna began to recognize the mummers. Now she... Okay. Admired their cleverly contrived costumes and particularly how they suited the young ladies. And she thanked them all for having entertained her so well. The visitors were invited to supper in the drawing room, and the serfs had something served to them in the ballroom.
Now to tell one's fortune in the empty bathhouse is frightening. What? Now to tell one's fortune in the empty bathhouse is frightening. What? Said the old maid who lived with the Melyukovs during supper.
Why? Said the eldest Melyukov girl.
You wouldn't go. It takes courage. Maybe this is going to be an axe murder.
Why are they telling fortunes in the bathhouse? I'll go, said Sonya.
There's no one doing it, so... What are they even talking about?
Yeah.
Tell what happened to the young lady, said the second Melyukov girl.
Well, began the old maid, a young lady once went up, took a cock, laid the table for two, all properly, and sat down. After sitting a while, she suddenly hears someone coming. A sleigh drives up with harness bells. She hears him coming. He comes in, just in the shape of a man, like an officer, comes in and sits down to table with her.
Ah! Ah! Screamed Natasha, rolling her eyes with horror.
Yes, and how did he speak?
Yes, like a man. What? Everything quite all right, and he began persuading her, and she should have kept him talking till cockcrow, but she got frightened, just got frightened, and hid her face in her hands. Then he caught her up. Oh my God. It was lucky the maids ran in just then.
Now, why frighten them, said Pelagaya Danilovna.
Mama, you used to try your fate yourself, said the daughter.
And how does one do it in a barn? Inquired Sonya.
Well, say you went to the barn now and listened. It depends on what you hear. Hammering and knocking, that's bad. But a sound of shifting grain is good, and one sometimes hears that too.
Mama, tell us what happened to you in the barn.
What's happening?
I don't know. I don't know if they're telling ghost stories.
Or sex stories. Or horrifying.
And how does one do it in the barn?
Both. Okay. Pelagaya Danilovna smiled. Yes?
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were so taken aback. Oh, I've forgotten. She replied, none of you would go?
Yes, I will. Pelagaya Danilovna, let me, I'll go, said Sonya.
Well, why not if you're not afraid?
Louisa Ivanovna, may I? Asked Sonya.
Whether they were playing the ring and string game, or the ruble game, or talking as now, Nicholas did not leave Sonya's side, and gazed at her with quite new eyes. It seemed to him that it was only today, thanks to that burnt cork mustache, that he had fully learned to know her. And really, that evening, Sonya was brighter, more animated, and prettier than Nicholas had ever seen her before.
So that's what she is like. What a fool I have been, he thought, gazing at her sparkling eyes, and under the mustache a happy, rapturous smile dimpled her cheeks, a smile he had never seen before.
I'm not afraid of anything, said Sonya. May I go at once? She got up.
They told her where the barn was and how she should stand and listen, and they handed her a fur cloak. She threw this over her head and shoulders and glanced at Nicholas.
What a darling that girl is, thought he. And what have I been thinking of till now?
Sonya went out into the passage. She's totally going to get exploded. Right when he's been like... Okay. Sonya went out into the passage to go to the barn. Nicholas went hastily to the front porch, saying he felt too hot. The crowd of people really had made the house stuffy.
Outside, there was the same cold stillness and the same moon, but even brighter than before. The light was so strong and the snow sparkled with so many stars that one did not wish to... Sorry, I'm still laughing about this barn situation. Okay. One did not wish to look up at the sky, and the real stars were unnoticed. The sky was black and dreary, while the earth was gay.
I am a fool, a fool! What have I been waiting for, thought Nicholas, and running out from the porch, he went round the corner of the house and along the path that led to the back porch. He knew Sonya would pass that way. He's going to scare her to death. Halfway lay some snow-covered piles of firewood, and across and along them a network of shadows from the bare old lime trees fell on the snow and on the path. This path led to the barn. The log walls of the barn and its snow-covered roof that looked as if hewn out of some precious stone sparkled in the moonlight. A tree in the garden snapped with the frost, and then all was again perfectly silent. His bosom seemed to inhale not air, but the strength of eternal youth and gladness.
From the back porch came the sound of feet descending the steps. The bottom step upon which snow had fallen gave a ringing creak, and he heard the voice of an old maidservant saying, "Straight, straight, along the path, miss. Only don't look back."
Why not? I'm not afraid, answered Sonia's voice, and along the path toward Nicholas came the crunching, whistling sound of Sonia's feet in her thin shoes.
Sonya came along, wrapped in her cloak. She was only a couple paces away when she saw him. And to her, too, he was not the Nicholas she had known and always slightly feared. He was in a woman's dress, with tousled hair and a happy smile new to Sonya. She ran rapidly toward him.
Quite different and yet the same, thought Nicholas, looking at her face all lit up by the moonlight. He slipped his arms under the cloak that covered her head, embraced her, pressed her to him, and kissed her on the lips that wore a mustache and had a smell of burnt cork. Sonya kissed him full on the lips, and disengaging her little hands, pressed them to his cheeks.
"Sonya, Nicholas," was all they said. They ran to the barn and then back again, re-entering, he by the front and she by the back porch. So what happens in the barn?
Nothing. No, it's some sort of fortune-telling thing where you go to the barn and you listen, and depending on what you hear, something. But then I don't know about that man who sounded like a man and all that other stuff.
Yeah. That's what I was like, oh, there must be a ghost.
Maybe.
Okay. So,
Chapter
Nicholas
12.
and Sonya
Sitting in the barn.
Chapter 12. When they all drove back from Pelagaya Danilovna's, Natasha, who always saw and noticed everything, arranged that she and Madame Schoss should go back in the sleigh with Dimmler, and Sonya with Nicholas and the maids.
On the way back, Nicholas drove at a steady pace instead of racing, and kept peering by that fantastic, all-transforming light into Sonia's face, and searching beneath the eyebrows and mustache for his former and his present Sonia, from whom he had resolved never to be parted again. He looked, and recognizing in her both the old and the new Sonia, and being reminded by the smell of burnt cork of the sensation of her kiss, inhaled the frosty air with a full breast, and looking at the ground flying beneath him, and at the sparkling sky, felt himself again in fairyland.
"Sonya, is it well with thee?" he asked from time to time.
"Yes," she replied, "and with thee?"
When halfway home, Nicholas handed the reins to the coachman and ran for a moment to Natasha's sleigh and stood on its wing.
"Natasha," he whispered in French, "do you know I have made my mind up about Sonia?"
You told her? Asked Natasha, suddenly beaming all over with joy.
Oh, how strange you are with that mustache and those eyebrows. Natasha, are you glad?
I'm so glad, so glad. I was beginning to be vexed with you. I did not tell you, but you have been treating her badly. What a heart she has, Nicholas. I'm horrid sometimes, but I was ashamed to be happy, while Sonya was not, continued Natasha. Now I am so glad. We'll run back to her.
No, wait a bit. Oh, how funny you look, cried Nicholas, peering into her face and finding in his sister, too, something new, unusual, and bewitchingly tender that he had not seen in her before. Natasha, it's magical, isn't it?
Yes, she replied. You have done splendidly.
I've seen her before as she is now, thought Nicholas. I should long ago have asked her what to do and have done whatever she told me, and all would have been well.
So you are glad and I have done right?
Oh, quite right. I had a quarrel with Mamma some time ago about it. Mamma said she was angling for you. How could she say such a thing? I nearly stormed at Mamma. I will never let anyone say anything bad of Sonia, for there is nothing but good in her.
Then it's all right, said Nicholas, again scrutinizing the expression of his sister's face to see if she was in earnest. Then he jumped down and, his boots scrunching the snow, ran back to his sleigh. The same happy, smiling Circassian, with mustache and beaming eyes looked up from under a sable hood, was still sitting there. And that Circassian was Sonya, and that Sonya was certainly his future happy and loving wife.
When they reached home and had told their mother how they had spent the evening at the Nalikovs, the girls went to their bedroom. When they had undressed, but without washing off the cork mustaches, they sat a long time talking of their happiness. They talked of how they would live when they were married, how their husbands would be friends, yeah, right, and how happy they would be. On Natasha's table stood 2 looking glasses which Dunyasha had prepared beforehand.
Only when will all that be? I'm afraid never. It would be too good, said Natasha, rising and going to the looking glasses.
Sit down, Natasha. Perhaps you'll see him, said Sonya.
Natasha lit the candles, one on each side of one of the looking glasses, and sat down.
I see someone with a mustache, she said, seeing her own face.
You mustn't laugh, miss, said Dunyasha.
With Sonia's help and the maid's, Natasha got the glass she held into the right position opposite the other. Her face assumed a serious expression and she sat silent. She sat a long time looking at the receding line of candles reflecting in the glasses and expecting, from tales she had heard, to see a coffin, or him, Prince Andrew, in that last, dim, indistinctly outlined square. But ready as she was to take the smallest speck for the image of a man, or of a coffin, she saw nothing. She began blinking rapidly and moving away from the looking glasses.
Why is it others see things and I don't, she said. You sit down now, Sonya. You absolutely must tonight. Do it for me. Today I feel so frightened.
Sonia sat down before the glasses, got the right position, and began looking.
Now, Miss Sonia is sure to see something, whispered Dunyasha, while you do nothing but laugh.
Sonia heard this in Natasha's whisper.
I know she will. She saw something last year.
For about 3 minutes, all was silent.
Of course she will, whispered Natasha, but did not finish. Suddenly, Sonia pushed away the glass she was holding and covered her eyes with her hand.
Oh, Natasha, she cried.
Did you see? Did you? What was it? Exclaimed Natasha, holding up the looking glass.
Sonia had not seen anything. She was just wanting to blink and to get up when she heard Natasha say, of course she will. She did not wish to disappoint either Dunyasha or Natasha, but it was hard to sit still. She did not herself know how or why the exclamation escaped her when she covered her eyes.
You saw him? Urged Natasha, seizing her hand.
Yes, wait a bit. I saw him, Sonia could not help saying, not yet knowing whom Natasha meant by him, Nicholas or Prince Andrew.
Why shouldn't I...
Our sheep masks. Sorry.
Ah! Do you want to look at them?
Not. Because then we're going to have to get up in the middle. Ugh. You know?
Okay. But why shouldn't I say I saw something others do see? Besides, who can tell whether I saw anything or not? Flashed through Sonia's mind.
Yes, I saw him, she said.
How? Standing or lying?
No, I saw... At first there was nothing, then I saw him lying down.
Andrew lying? Is he ill? Asked Natasha, her frightened eyes fixed on her friend.
No, on the contrary, his face was cheerful, and he turned to me. And when saying this, she herself fancied she had really seen what she described.
Well, and then, Sonia?
After that, I could not make out what there was, something blue and red.
Sonia, when will he come back? When shall I see him? Oh God, how afraid I am for him and for myself and about everything, Natasha began, and without replying to Sonia's words of comfort, she got into bed, and long after her candle was out, lay open-eyed and motionless, gazing at the moonlight through the frosty window panes. Drop something blue and red. Did you catch that?
I did. I've caught it. Like France?
No.
Like bruises and blood?
Close.
Like
I didn't think of that, blue and red, but yeah.
what?
Well, blue and red, you could be like France and Russia. But...
What do you think it is?
Oh, well, Natasha described Pierre as being blue and red.
Blue and red?
Yeah, you remember when she was like, Boris is gray? And you were like, I know exactly what she's saying.
Yeah, she said blue.
And then she said Pierre is blue and red.
And red, I don't remember. She said he was red?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought just blue. Okay. Cool. This is chapter 13. Soon after the Christmas holidays, Nicholas told his mother of his love for Sonya and of his firm resolve to marry her. The Countess, who had long noticed what was going on between them and was expecting this declaration, listened to him in silence and then told her son that he might marry whom he pleased, but that neither she nor his father would give their blessing to such a marriage. Nicholas, for the first time, felt that his mother was displeased with him, and that despite her love for him, she would not give way. Coldly, without looking at her son, she sent for her husband, and when he came, tried briefly and coldly to inform him of the facts. In her son's presence, but unable to restrain herself, she burst into tears of vexation and left the room. The old count began irresolutely to admonish Nicholas and beg him to abandon his purpose. Nicholas replied that he could not go back on his word, and his father, sighing and evidently disconcerted, very soon became silent and went in to the Countess. In all his encounters with his son, the Count was always conscious of his own guilt toward him for having wasted the family fortune, and so he could not be angry with him for refusing to marry an heiress and choosing the dowerless Sonya. On this occasion, he was only more vividly conscious of the fact that if his affairs had not been in disorder, no better wife for Nicholas than Sonya could have been wished for, and that no one but himself with his Mitenka and his uncomfortable habits was to blame for the condition of the family's finances.
The father and mother did not speak of the matter to their son again, but a few days later the Countess sent for Sonya and, with a cruelty neither of them expected, reproached her niece for trying to catch Nicholas and for ingratitude. Sonya listened silently with downcast eyes to the Countess's cruel words, without understanding what was required of her. She was ready to sacrifice everything for her benefactors. Self-sacrifice was her most cherished idea, but in this case she could not see what she ought to sacrifice, or for whom. She could not help loving the Countess and the whole Rostov family, but neither could she help loving Nicholas, and knowing that his happiness depended on that love. She was silent and sad and did not reply. Nicholas felt the situation to be intolerable and went to have an explanation with his mother. He first implored her to forgive him and Sonya and consent to their marriage. Then he threatened that if she molested Sonya, he would at once marry her secretly.
The Countess, with a coldness her son had never seen in her before, replied that he was of age, that Prince Andrew was marrying without his father's consent and he could do the same, but that she would never receive that intriguer as her daughter.
Exploding at the word intriguer, Nicholas, raising his voice, told his mother he had never expected her to try to force him to sell his feelings. But if that were so, he would say for the last time, but he had no time to utter the decisive word which the expression of his face caused his mother to await with terror, and which would perhaps have forever remained a cruel memory to them both. He had not time to say it, for Natasha, with a pale and set face, entered the room from the door at which she had been listening.
Nicholas, you are talking nonsense. Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet, I tell you. She almost screamed so as to drown his voice.
Mamma, darling, it's not at all so. My poor, sweet darling, she said to her mother, who, conscious that they had been on the brink of a rupture, gazed at her son with terror, but in the obstinacy and excitement of the conflict could not and would not give way.
Look, Nicholas, I'll explain to you. Go away, listen, Mamma, darling, said Natasha.
Her words were incoherent, but they attained the purpose at which she was aiming.
The Countess, sobbing heavily, hid her face on her daughter's breast while Nicholas rose, clutching his head, and left the room.
Natasha set to work to effect a reconciliation, and so far succeeded that Nicholas received a promise from his mother that Sonya should not be troubled. while he, on his side, promised not to undertake anything without his parents' knowledge.
Firmly resolved, after putting his affairs in order in the regiment, to retire from the army and return and marry Sonya, Nicolas, serious, sorrowful, and at variance with his parents, but, as it seemed to him, passionately in love, left at the beginning of January to rejoin his regiment.
After Nicholas had gone, things in the Rostov household were more depressing than ever, and the Countess fell ill from mental agitation.
Sonya was unhappy at the separation from Nicholas, and still more so on account of the hostile tone the Countess could not help adopting toward her. The Count was more perturbed than ever by the condition of his affairs, which called for some decisive action. Their townhouse and estate near Moscow had inevitably to be sold, and for this they had to go to Moscow. But the Countess's health obliged them to delay their departure from day to day.
Natasha, who had borne the first period of separation from her betrothed lightly and even cheerfully, now grew more agitated and impatient each day. The thought that her best days, which she would have employed in loving him, were being vainly wasted with no advantage to anyone, tormented her incessantly. His letters for the most part irritated her. It hurt her to think that while she lived only in the thought of him, he was living a real life, seeing new places and new people that interested him. The more interesting his letters were, the more vexed she felt. Her letters to him, far from giving her any comfort, seemed to her a wearisome and artificial obligation. She could not write because she could not conceive the possibility of expressing sincerely in a letter even a thousandth part of what she expressed by voice, smile, and glance. She wrote to him formal, monotonous, and dry letters, to which she attached no importance herself, and in the rough copies of which the Countess corrected her mistakes in spelling.
There was still no improvement in the Countess's health, but it was impossible to defer the journey to Moscow any longer. Natasha's trousseau had to be ordered, and the house sold. Moreover, Prince Andrew was expected in Moscow, where old Prince Bolkonsky was spending the winter, and Natasha felt sure he had already arrived.
So the Countess remained in the country, and the Count, taking Sonya and Natasha with him, went to Moscow at the end of January.
Oh,
and a book!
oh,
That was a shorty.
oh.
Book 8?
Book 8.
I think we should leave it.
Leave it.
Let's just have a nice little Wednesday reading.
A wee read.
Yeah, I have nothing to say about all of that.
I mean, at least something happened.
What do you think about getting sick from mental agitation?
What do you mean?
Like, what's actually happening, though? Are you just upset?
I mean, I think it can mess up your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In various different ways that may be more or less connected, like anything from the fact, I mean, anxiety, actually does manifest in your body quite a lot.
That's true.
And depression is physically painful. So, it's probably just, either side. But there are also, there are larger effects or, looser effects on one's immune system. I don't know. So it could be anything ranging from symptoms of depression or anxiety in the body to being something more serious, maybe. I don't know.
I'm very aware in this how little they understood about health. It seems like people get sick and there's no understanding of what is actually ailing them. It's very general. Sickness, not being well.
I mean, there's not that much
There's no
sickness in the book.
symptoms. You know what I'm saying?
There's not much sickness in the book, right? There's a lot of war wounds and stuff, and there's typhus or whatever, but I'm trying to think of obviously Prince Andrew's weird illness that nobody knows what it is.
It's just not. Even what did his father die of? Was it just old age?
His father's not dead.
No, Pierre's.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm mixing them up. Where has Pierre been in all of this, by the way? He was supposed to be looking after Natasha. Yeah, really.
Was he supposed to be looking after Natasha, or was he supposed to be there in case she needed anything?
I guess so.
Seems like she has needed something else.
She's she's been unhappy.
Well, she hasn't reached out to him.
Sure.
I think he's there for the reaching out.
But the reaching out. But he's like, you come to me, I do not come to you.
Well, because he's got a crush on her.
Does he? Maybe I'm just manufacturing them. I'm just
Manufacturing
waiting for the love triangle.
Manufacturing.
This love triangle is the slowest moving geometrical shape I've seen since your bed.
Since my bed?
I was just thinking of your pillows.
Oh. The Grand Arch. I'll take a picture of it.
Yeah, we're halfway through. I feel like I keep saying that.
You do keep saying that.
I'm forgetting the epilogues.
I'm forgetting thee.
Can't forget the epilogues.
I don't think that 45% it says.
Okay.
I've forgotten the epilogues. Were there a lot? 2.
2. Not 1, but 2. What does that even mean? Are you allowed to?
You're allowed to do whatever you want.
How many epilogues? I thought the epilogue was like the ending. You can have 2 endings.
The epilogue's not the ending. The epilogue's like the after.
It's the after ending.
It's the like amuse bouche. Just kidding. What's the opposite? I don't know. I just wanted to
The
say
dinner mint?
I just wanted to yes. Just wanted to say amuse bouche. Speaking of dinner mints.
Amuse bouche isn't. Wait, what is it called?
Such a funny sound for some reason.
You know, is it? It's called like a onomatopoeia? What's that word?
I don't think it's an onomatopoetic.
You know, like the thing that sounds like what it is.
Yeah, it's an onomatopoeia, but
Onomatopoeia and amuse bouche.
no.
Yeah, it totally is.
No, it's not. Buzz is an onomatopoeia.
Yeah, but an amuse bouche is amusing for your bouche.
That's literally what it means.
Yeah, but to say it is amusing for your bouche.
Amusing. So you're then if anything, it's a pun. It's amusing for your bouche. I can't stand donut fancy hours.
Because it closes at 9?
I don't know when it closes, but it's closed as shit.
You should have an alarm on your phone that says, Donut
Closing.
Friend is closing. Order now.
Meanwhile, I spent like $55 at the grocery store today, so what am I doing exactly? I'm looking for my bouche to be amused.
I have Oreos. Yeah, what?
Amuse my bouche! That sounds really filthy. For multiple reasons.
Yeah, you can put it that way too.
Amuse is a thing that my sister and Naresh, they have like an ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have just like ongoing, like language humor things? Is that? So like my mom says, excuse me, moi. It's like just become kind of a thing. Aditi and Naresh say all those words that are like amuse. They say it like amuse. So they were like, she's abusing me. Abuse.
That's very your family.
I know. I was trying to describe it, and I was like, I don't know how to even describe this. That just there's like linguistic practices that are a sign of affection, but they like I don't know if they make any. I don't know where they. Yeah.
They're almost little inside jokes. That's very like, and you do that even when you're not with your family.
Do what?
Like you just play with words and make them funny.
Like one big thing that's going through my family right now is the fact that Ishan can't say L, so he says Y. So he's like, yuck, yuck! And my mom had like no end of it. She is obsessed with it. She was like, today he wanted to see the yid. Where's the yid? The yid! So what's he saying? The lid.
Why do you want to see the lid so badly?
It's a very conscientious child.
Cover it!
Yeah. He's very conscientious. I don't know why he would want the lid to something. He knows all these words that I'm like, that are confusing to me, considering he's My mom was like, collapse it. He's like, I collapse it. So collapse is like a big word.
That's a big word. Did he say collapse?
He
says collapse. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can't say L. And then he also can't say like S when it comes before other consonants, like stick. You can't say stick. He's like, womatic, womatic.
It's so interesting what's difficult that we just take for granted.
And he can't say spoon, so he's like, wamapoon, where the poon, where the poon. I can't with him. I've got the greatest nephew.
Yeah. You should come on the show.
He should come on the show. This is him with a paper cat. With a cat my mother cut out of paper.
Oh no, he sneezed.
I feel weird playing this because he's not wearing no pants.
That's true. That's not why. You're like, he's got good legs. I have no shame.
And my mom is like such a genius with stuff like this. Like, she's tried to make me cut cats out of paper before, and I'm like, no, what are you doing?
What is she doing?
She's just a bit of she's balmy. But she like cut a cat out of a piece of paper, and it changed his life. Like, they play all these games.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me what music is playing.
Go on playing with it.
I want another cat.
Another cat. I mean, he has the least amount of toys of any child I've seen.
Well, especially now.
I really admire it.
No, he has tons of toys.
Okay, he has tons of toys.
I think.
I don't know, like when he came to visit, they didn't really bring anything. He had like one car. One toy.
That might have been neglect on their part. I found his taxi behind my bed.
But I like it. He finds other things to be interested in.
Well, that's the thing is that, like, at this age, isn't that just a quality of this age? Because he literally, everything becomes a thing. Like, they were outside and he was, like, making a thing out of, like, little rocks.
I think that's it. I don't know. If they have toys to play with, will they engage in other things? I'm not sure.
My sister was, like, stunned, and because she came into the room and she was like, I heard him giggling his head off. And I came into the room and you won't believe what they were doing, him and my mother. Yeah. They were playing a game with a piece of, like, literally a piece of fluff. Yeah. Where he was blowing it, and then it was like, oh my gosh, where'd it go? And then it was like, where did it? And tried to find it. And again, was like catching it and blowing a piece of fluff.
I think that's so...
My sister was like, wonderful. How is this a game?
But it's so wonderful because it's like, the world...
Yes.
The world is the thing that he's engaged. Like, he has to create the excitement.
But I think that's what they just do.
As opposed to, like, a product that is designed to entertain you and hit all your buttons, right?
Don't they just do that though, kids? Like
I think they do. I think their creativity might become a bit lazy.
That's very possible.
Because everything is already like created for them, you know?
Because the thing about his age is that he can learn from literally anything. So, like, between the fact that, like, the lightness of something like that, the fact that you can blow it and it's almost weightless, the fact that the way that something that has, like, so little weight moves in the air, and then he kept trying to, like, blow it like this, and my mom was like, you can't grab it, while also you have to let it go on just one, like, it was a whole thing. Because he's only 2, there's all these, like, spatial and... there are things to learn from literally anything happening. That's just sad. So it's not even like it's wasting his time. You know what I mean?
No. I like it. I want to do that. No toys for you.
I'll let my mother know that you want to cut cats out of paper.
I'll cut a cat. Not like that.
She'll want you to cut him. Cut a cat. Everything is a dormant craft project to my mother.
Mm.
Everything. And with a 2-year-old, it just like makes it obvious because he like also thinks it's cool.
Yeah.
Just for right now.
I didn't wake up tomorrow morning and there's just thousands of cats.
I feel like my mom got mad at me because I once threw out an envelope full of cat cutouts. But here's the thing. Is that she and one of her friends who do this nonsense stuff, like her friend is the one who made those collages. And what are all of those things?
Okay.
They're cutouts of random things. So like in some universe, it's not absurd, but like my mom doesn't follow through. She just ends up with envelopes full of like weird shapes.
Wow.
Yep. Yes, all goes. Yeah. His ball is definitely a balled up thing of 2 socks. But that's also so that like he can mess around with it in the house. It doesn't break anything. Like if you think about it in a certain way, it might be kind of sad, but it's not sad for him.
I don't think it's sad. I think this is great. I think we all need to stop giving children toys. I'm the Grinch right now.
They don't need them at this age.
They don't need them most of the time.
Right.
Because, anything becomes interesting if you give it enough attention and love. I'm serious. Like, that's like the amazing thing of a kid is they can be like, this thing is my friend.
Right.
Like, I was telling, I was reminiscing about, how did we get to talking about this? I went through a period where I thought screwdrivers were really cool.
Really?
Yeah. I was like really into screwdrivers. I thought it was like, yeah, look at me with my tools. I don't know. I just thought tools were cool. And so we took a plane to visit my grandparents. And I brought my screwdriver.
You were allowed with a
well, no. The security guard took my screwdriver and I cried the whole 6 hours to Alberta.
Oh my gosh.
It was really traumatic to have him take it away.
Yeah. I just put it in the check-in.
I should have, but I wanted it with me in my little backpack. Because I don't know, I thought I'd be screwing things on the plane.
Do you use it? Were you like Ishana the dinosaur?
Just seeing if like screws are loose. Or unscrewing things.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That's a pretty dangerous thing.
I guess it
How old were
is.
you?
Yeah. I was like 7 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't like 2.
Okay.
That's a
Because
bit
he would
different.
not be allowed to screw.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. I like it. I like no toys.
He's been looking at like art books. That's where he was like, Janessa. In the Renaissance painting.
Imagine if it was someone though who looked exactly like me from the 1500s.
From basically what I could see of the picture, I was like,
Not far.
not wildly. Plus, I think that things are more often alike than other people think they are. Like when he was like, "That's a dinosaur," I was like, "It kind of is." Like I get where he's coming from.
Yeah.
So partly maybe it's that, but I was like, sure, why not?
Sure.
In the part of the 1500s.
Yeah.
That's what that looks like.
I mean, I'm practically there all the time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I need to show you a video of him telling a part of Three Little Pigs.
Mm-hmm.
I think he thinks that the part where the wolf tries to blow down the house made of bricks, I think he thinks that it's a joke.
Like he didn't really?
No, like if that's a punchline somehow. I don't know. You'll see.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, this is a punchline.
Yeah, he's like,
and then nothing happened.
nothing happened.
So what is going on there?
I don't know. Nothing happened.
Someone get on that. It's like stand-up material now.
Nothing happened. And he like draws it out like that. The more and more he tells it, like I've heard him tell that bit like
It's working as
probably 15 times now. He's
Mhm.
like, like he knows how to like make things bigger,
Yeah,
like how to build.
yeah.
And then like there was this one thing where he was like trying to do the like pick which hand the thing is in. Like they were, I don't know, clearly somebody had showed it to him. He didn't really know how to do it. And he was like, and then he was going like this. It's two.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, it was hilarious. When kids do something really slow, it's very funny.
Yeah.
Because it's so like dissonant with the like level of like control.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, who are you? That's why when he was like, I was like, what am I seeing right now? I can't tell if kids are just like this or if he's like very, very special. I mean, maybe it's both, obviously, but oh, he's the best. I can't.
I'm going to end this video.
End it!
Thank you all.
Good night!